With this workflow, you can quickly develop high-performance descriptions for your e-commerce products for Shopify, WooCommerce, or any other e-commerce platform. Simply give it your product name, a description if you already have one, a link to your product image, and some information of the target market, and the workflow analyzes every image and turns them into SEO-packed titles and descriptions ready to post to Shopify, Google Merchant Center, and beyond. And as always, you can download this N8N workflow for free from my free school community, where we give away over 25 different business-focused workflows for free, with new free workflows coming out every week, along with tutorial videos, how-to setup guides, and a community of automation-focused business owners, all looking to collaborate and grow their businesses with AI-powered automations. You can also join our advanced community for tech support assistance, marketing and business growth discussions, as well as getting to pick my brain on N8N, AI automation, or businesses in general. All right, let's go ahead and dive into the workflow. It starts with just a test workflow button, just a click trigger. So whenever you click the button down here, it'll run. You can set that to a scheduled trigger if you want. I'm not sure why you might. Maybe if you have a big list of products that's always being updated and like every day when you have new products coming in, maybe you can set it to pull from some sort of setup sheet and then deposit into a master spreadsheet. But for now, we're just using a test Google Sheet here. I just grabbed some random products from ChatGPT. I just had it generate the stuff for me. This one I made a little cheeky myself. So we got Bill's Balls, round soap for men that comes in blue, brass, and steel, right? So we got male focused, brand dripping with innuendo. It's for men aged 35 to 50. I grabbed just a random product off the internet. So it's not even what it says it is, but that's just for having a picture. The rest of these are actually the pictures, or they're not real products, but the pictures do match up. So we have a solar garden lamp. Here we have a solar garden lamp. Here we have an air fryer. We have an air fryer. So they match up. But I just wanted to see what would happen if I was a little bit tongue-in-cheek. And so we have, what it does is it's going to output a Shopify product name. So either for Shopify or WooCommerce or whatever e-commerce platform you're on. It's going to make a description for that platform as well. It does that in HTML. So it will actually be pastable onto your platform and it'll look like there's bolding and italics and lists and all that. We get an SEO description. So that's for Google Merchant Center or Bing or Yahoo or whoever you're using for your SEO. It's highly keyworded to be able to be found searchable easily to increase the ranking of your products, and an SEO name that has lots of keywords as well. All right, and so we see we got Bill's Balls, round soap for men in blue, brass, and steel. It's exactly what I would expect it to be. Meet Bill's Balls, your new go-to round soap just for men who know their way around style and substance. This unique swirl of blue, brass, and steel colors each soap ball is a visual catch that brings playful sophistication to your grooming routine. It fits snugly in your hand, making it easy to work up a smooth, rich lather that cleanses and lightly exfoliates. All right, maybe that one's not so great, but here's our solar lamp. Light up your garden paths and backyard nooks with the Solar Glow Garden Lamp, a solar-powered lantern that brings a warm, inviting glow to your outdoor space. Oh, that sounds fantastic. How about this one? Air fryer. Get crispy results with less oil thanks to the Swift Chef Air Fryer's hot air circulation technology. So that's honestly great. The transparent front window lets you keep an eye on your food as it cooks, while the blue LED lit digital control panel with dial offers easy, precise temperature and time settings. Oh, that's awesome. That sounds great. Okay, SEO descriptions for our air fryer. It's a black countertop kitchen appliance with stainless steel accents. Features a transparent window. It's SEO'd as all get out. Wonderful. And here's our pup nest gray orthopedic dog bed memory foam support senior large breeds. Name for our SEO. So orthopedic dog bed, and it's got extra keywords just like we would hope to see in an SEO name. So it worked perfectly. Fantastic. And let's just go ahead and go through it, show you how it exactly works and how you can adjust it for your own needs. All right, so like I said, it's a click trigger. You just click test workflow once everything's set up. You come in here, we have a Google Sheets node. You wanna set up your Google Sheets account. I'll put a video description in the link below if you don't know how to do that. Basically, just go to Google Cloud Console. No, you don't even need to go to Google Cloud Console. You just need a Google account. You just create a new credential and then log in with your Google account. It's actually really easy for this one. You're gonna set your resource to sheet within a document. We're going to get rows. And the reason we're getting the rows is because we're going to have this information, or hopefully have this information when you're starting. It's going to input it over here. In fact, while I'm here, let me just go ahead and change the color here to like this one. That way it's nice and obvious that you're not supposed to fill in those. All right. And then you set it to the document name, which is product description writer, set it to the sheet, and it's going to grab all of the rows from the sheet. Now, I have done this for clients, and I've had clients of upwards of 600 products. I used a different workflow that was essentially the same as this one. They had 5,700 products. So I know it can run through that many. Just be aware that if you have like 20,000, it might not work so well. Maybe break that up into a couple different runs. But for 600 products, no problem. For 5 products, super easy. All right, and then what we do is it's going to go to an if node. And the if node is looking to see if there's an image link here in the spreadsheet. So you have to have an image link for your product, meaning you have to have a picture for your product. If you don't have a picture, this workflow will not work for it, all right? So what it does is it then comes down here for a loop, and we come with, we grab our link, our image link, and it's going to download the image link. So we have our URL. We are using an HTTP node with a get method. Here's our URL that we're pulling straight from our spreadsheet. And then our response, so come to options, response. You're going to set your response format for file, and then the output will be data. And so here we see on the right, it downloaded my picture and it named it data. We then resize the image, and we resize the image to about 40%. So just an edit image node. Resizing it is the operation. I use an option of percent, about 40%, just make it nice and small. The reason I do that is I don't want to run too many tokens through my image analysis agent. If your pictures are huge, then you're going to be burning through tokens. It's going to cost you a lot. So the smaller your image, the more efficient it's going to be. It's still going to be able to see everything in the picture, just it costs less money. And then we have an OpenAI node after that. This is just a 4.0 mini visual model. So our resource, so you set up your OpenAI account. Image is the resource. Operation is going to be analyze image. And our model is, I have 4.0 mini. If you want a higher level model, you can do 4.0. So you can do 4.0 down here. I don't think they've released it for 4.1, no. So just 4.0. If you want a higher end model looking at it, possibly we'll do a better job writing a description of what it sees. I like 4.0 mini. It works really well. And that's it. It just takes the input of the binary field called data and then outputs a description. And we do have a system prompt for it. I do tell it that it is a highly precise visual model. It's going to be given the product title and description. It's also given, if I recall, down here somewhere. Nope, it's only given the title and the description. And that's all we're going to give it. And we want it to generate a description of what is in the image on its own. And so it needs to come back with the product type and primary function. So what is it and what is it for? The physical characteristics of what it sees. So the shape and structure, the materials it's made of, the color scheme, the size and scale, if it can tell based on what's around it. Surface details. So is it textured? Is it patterned? As well as include the features and usability clues. So are there any mechanisms that it sees, such as zippers, handles, clips, buttons? What kind of packaging does it have, or does it come in? And any implied uses it might be able to tell based on what it sees there. As well as include any unique or distinguishing attributes for the product. And then it just outputs them just like that: product type and function, shape and structure, materials and texture, color scheme, size and scale, surface details and branding, features and usability, and unique or distinguishing attributes. And so we can see over here, it comes back with this nice big block of information. So I got my product type and function, shape and structure, materials and textures, everything I asked for. So here's a backpack: surface details and branding. The backpack features minimalistic branding with the name Summit Pro. Does it? Wait, was Summit Pro? It says it was. It wasn't actually there. It's just a random picture. Here, I'll show you. I think it sees this, but it can't read it because it's upside down or in sideways. So it says that it's there. I don't like that it made that up. Displayed on white. So it saw the text, but the visual model's not able to read text that's up and down. My wife has issues with this all the time. We take notes. She takes notes sideways, and the visual models can't read her notes. And so clearly it missed that, but it guessed that it was Summit Pro, which is the brand that we have listed here. So hey, rock on, ChatGPT. Prominently displayed on white on the side. There are also functional elements like zippers and loops that aid in attaching additional gear. Good, okay. And so it outputs the description of what it sees with this visual model, and then we run it through an AI agent here. Now we're gonna give this AI agent a lot of information. We're gonna give it the description that the model just generated. We're gonna give it the name of the product, the description from our spreadsheet. Oopsie, let's close that. And as well as our brand voice, our target market. And then we run it all through this system prompt here, which is going to take all of that information and it's going to do its best to write a Shopify product name and a Shopify product description based on all of that information. And I do this twice, and I explain why when I get to the next one. But we have it incorporate all of that information, the color, the category, the material, the intended use. It needs to be short, easy to read, SEO friendly. It needs to maintain a natural flow. So it can't just be black children's pants, pockets, just random words strung together. It needs to flow. It needs to have the base category and context primarily based on the product name and the user draft. All right, so it needs to figure out what this is based on what you tell it is. If you only have a product name, it's going to try its best. Just understand it, the more information that you give it up front, the better it's going to be able to process this information for you and give you the best results it can. All right, and then it comes up with a description. The description is going to be written in HTML. So it's going to have these paragraph markers. It's going to bold it. It's going to do some embedding and line breaks and lists as appropriate. All right, and so it's trying to do 1 to 2 emotional benefit-focused paragraphs, including the color and the material, the category, and all the information that makes it super SEO packed. All right, it talks about, it needs to include the language you. We're talking to the customer here. Weave in the sensory and aspirational language without too much hype. You can ask it to do hype. You can always update the system prompt if you want. I find that generally without hype is a little bit better because it gives the customer the ability to understand what the product is without feeling like they're being sold. Some light SEO optimization without unnatural keyword insertion, and a soft call to action if appropriate, and make it easy to scan and read quickly. So we tell it the chain of thought, how it's supposed to process all of this information, take all that information, prioritize the category and purpose keywords from the product name first, note the tone and positioning cues from the user draft, and identify the features and materials from the visual description. Take all of that and then create the functional features. And it needs to distinguish the functional features from the emotional benefits and the brand voice, all right? So you never want to just give feature, feature, feature. You always want to try to sell the customer on why they want it. That would be the benefits. So we want to make sure we give them the benefits, and then we have it figure out how it's going to process that information and come up with our outputs, our SEO, our Shopify name and our Shopify description, and then writes our Shopify name and writes our Shopify description. And then it outputs it all as a JSON using a structured output parser. And so we'll see our examples down here. We have a Shopify name and a Shopify description with our HTML that can be put right onto your website, and it'll look really nice on your website. All right, and so here's our output parser, same Shopify description, Shopify product name. So here's our 2 items that it outputs. And those are then put into a second model that's going to be given the visual description, the product name, the user-provided description, the user-provided brand voice, and then our Shopify description and our Shopify product title. And we're going to run it through it again, this time with an eye towards SEO, because we always want our products to be able to be featured as highly and as ranked as high as we possibly can on Google, on Bing, on Yahoo, on all those platforms. So it runs it through all again. This time it's going to generate a Shopify name, a Shopify description once more, and by and large it's going to be the same as what it just did, maybe some slight tweaks. But it's also going to make an SEO product name and an SEO product description. This should say SEO. I don't know why it says Google Merchant Center. It's just one of the options is Google Merchant Center. And it will output the same. Let me make sure I have it say SEO. Yeah, SEO down here. So it is right. I don't know why that said Google. Sometimes ChatGPT adds stuff in it's not supposed to. Anyway, it's going to output those 4 items, and we have our output requirements for each. So here's our Shopify description, again, doing HTML, making sure it includes the details, uses, design elements. Here's our SEO. I don't want like ChatGPT, man, sometimes. Anyway, SEO should be plain tone. You don't want this to be hype. This is just what's going to be seen by the algorithms that are then going to direct to your product. So we want these super, super highly SEO'd and optimized. We want lots of keywords in there, want it to sound good still. So no promotional language or subjective terms because you don't want any ads blocked if you're running ads. Length should be as close to 700 characters as possible because that's the limit that you're allowed to do for your SEO description. I think your Shopify description can be as long as you want, but this one's limited to about 700 characters. Use standard color names that are Google compliant. If details are limited, use the contextual expansion. Try to figure out what to write here. We also have our SEO product name. So that's what would show up in Google. We have our Shopify name, which is again what shows up on Shopify. And whenever you search for products on Shopify, that's what they would see. And generally you want this to be as clear to the customer as it can be. So it needs to be men's corduroy pants with 7 pockets, right? That way the person knows exactly what they're getting. And brand voice, you can always come in here and adjust this if you want to hard code in your brand voice. Otherwise, it will pull from the spreadsheet what your brand voice is here. And then here's our chain of thought. It's going to understand all that information. It's going to identify the attributes versus the benefits again. It's going to plan how it's going to do it. It's going to build each of the 4 items. I should say SEO. That is so weird. It said SEO several times before this. I don't know. Sometimes, because I told ChatGPT it needs to be for Google Merchant Center. It must have come in here and changed it. Include all factual elements. Expand with contextual use cases for our SEO description. Good. And our names need to include relevant SEO key terms. It needs to be in the brand voice. Don't be boring. Wonderful. And then validation step, it needs to ensure that it outputs 4 items. And the 4 items it outputs are the 4 items here. So Shopify description, Shopify name, SEO description, and SEO name. And we come back over here. Here they are. So Shopify name, SEO name, Shopify description, SEO description. Perfect. Okay. So then it outputs those. It's then going to use this Google Sheet node here. It's going to do an update row. We're going to be matching to the product name from the original edit image right here. This is, I guess it's not the original, but from the edit image, what came through when it shrunk the picture, what picture did it shrink? We're matching there. And then it adds each of these to their respective columns. So the Shopify product name goes here, Shopify description there, SEO description, and SEO name. And then it just loops through them all. And then when it's done, you will have a full list of Shopify and SEO product names and descriptions that will allow you to rank higher on Google, on Bing, on Yahoo, wherever else, as well as to rank higher with your products. Your product names will stand out a little bit better. So instead of having to come up with all of these on your own, let AI do it for you. So as you can see, this product description writer allows you to quickly create well-written product names and descriptions that will get your products clicked on through all of the noise on the internet. And if you found this video helpful, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like and share the video because it really does help get this content out there to those people who need it. Also, make sure to click on the link in the description below in order to download today's free workflow from my free school community, where you can also find over 30 different workflows, helpful tips, tricks, tutorials on N8N and AI automation. And as always, I'm Bradford Carlton. Let's automate your success together.